To serve Jehovah. Let's look in on a teenage son from a Christian household as he thinks aloud about a situation he is faced with in school.
Man, come on, let me try this one more time. This homework, it's just so much harder than I thought it would be. I just don't get this math. I could sure use some help on this. Well, I guess I could ask Tiffany. She has offered to help me for a few months now. In fact, she's been real interested in getting together. She invited me to some of the dances and even games. But I said no. Well, she is kind of pretty. I mean pretty smart at math. Who am I kidding? This girl's just hot. She's got looks and personality. I mean, every guy's after her. I guess I'm not doing schoolwork. I guess I'm not going out with her. I'm just doing schoolwork. Even Jehovah wants me to do well in school.
You recall those years? Be honest. Perhaps you faced a similar situation. Now, how did your decision affect you in later life? Let's now view the discussion that develops between the father and his son concerning this matter.
Hi, son. Looks like you missed the trash can here. What's going on?
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm just having a real tough time with this math. I think I need a tutor.
Son, you're not going to need a tutor. I used to be really good at math. Let me see it. I can help you out. Okay. What do we got here? Oh. Okay. Oh, boy. Well, son, we might have to get you a little help on this. It looks a little harder than I remembered.
Well, you know what, Dad? I know just the person who can help me. She's great at math. In fact, she's a genius.
So you say she, so what's her name?
Well, it's Tiffany.
Tiffany? Is this the same Tiffany that was inviting you to some of those sporting events and some of the school dances a little while back?
Well, yeah, but remember, I told her no.
Well, yes, I do remember our discussion on that. In fact, your mother and I were really proud of you in the way that you handled that situation. And I'd like to commend you once again for not accepting those invitations. But what about this invitation? What's different?
Well, Dad, this is just homework, okay? I'm going to need a lot of help. And I mean a lot of help.
Well, that's true. I'm sure you're going to need a little bit of help on this. But let me ask you, how do you feel about her?
Well, she's smart.
Well, I know that, son. But how do you really feel about her?
Well, I don't know. She's a real smart girl, and in fact, she's real funny too. In fact, she's the most popular girl in school, and she's nicer than most of the witness girls I know, and I think she'd even become a witness. And Dad, you should see her. She's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, she seems like a nice girl, and from what you tell me, she seems like she has some pretty good characteristics about herself and her personality. But my concern and thought is how one could be fooled if we're not careful when it comes to matters like this. You know, our Young People Ask publication has a chapter that specifically helps us in this matter. It's entitled, Is This Person Right for Me? Tell you what, why don't we go ahead and review that chapter together. I believe it's chapter 3 of the publication. And then we can make arrangements to go out and service this Saturday, and we can discuss it a little further. Because one thing is for certain, son, you're definitely going to need some help with this homework.
Well, thanks, Dad. Thanks for listening. I'll make sure I read that chapter before service on Saturday.
That's great.